it's before I get started, I'm going to tell a little bit more about how we got together, because it's pretty amazing to me to think about how Eric and I met, and now here I am, and there's a room full of people here at Wheaton College. I was at Walter Reed Medical Center before it closed, and I went there quite often whenever I would travel to DC. And there was a young Marine who they had, who just gotten back from Afghanistan, and he had both of his legs blown off high, up to his hips. He was missing his right arm, and all he had left on his left arm were 2 fingers. And when he had been admitted, his family came to visit him, and when they saw him, they started yelling at him. How could you do this to us? Look at the predicament you put us in. They had to pull him out of the hospital. Ever since this poor kid had been in and out of surgery, when he wasn't in and out of surgery, he was angry, and they hadn't really been able to get anybody to talk to him. And so 4 or 5 visits in a row, the command sergeant major there and the Red Cross person there had tried to get me in to talk to him, but every time I was there, he's in between surgeries and I couldn't see him. Finally, one day, I was able to go see this young man, and was able to spend about an hour and a half with him and had a good time. And when I was done, at the time I had this program called the Ladder Up, and it kind of helps people who've been through trauma kind of figure out a new identity and purpose for their life and sort of look forward. And it was in this box, and it was a book and a CD and a DVD, and I went to grab it to hand to this kid to give him a copy, and then I realized he didn't even have a lap to put the book in. And I was embarrassed, and I kind of put it back in there, and I didn't think about it. And I mean, within a week, Eric and I hooked up. Something totally separate from that. It was something with the VA. We got together. I found out that his company does online learning. So like my materials, they could take them and they could put online. And we discussed working together to do that, to provide that, really to anybody. And in doing so, he asked me if he'd talk to someone that worked for him, whose son had been home on leave from Afghanistan and had tried to kill himself in front of his mother. And I said, sure. So I spoke to her on the phone, and at the time I didn't know whether I was helpful or not, but I didn't think much about it. After that, I talked to a lot of people, and shortly thereafter, I went to go see Eric at his office, Joe's office, and I got to meet that woman whose son had tried to kill himself in front of her when he was home on leave. And while I was in her office, she says, hey, I want to show you a picture of my boy. And it chokes me up to think about it. And she shows me a picture of her boy with his best friend, and his best friend was the Marine that I met at Walter Reed. And that's why I'm here today, because Eric and I knew that we've been brought together for a purpose greater than ourselves and what we were doing. And it started with that, and then I came and spoke to his men's group, and then since then we've been trying to figure out what to do beyond that. We've been working together, and he's been helping me with my speaking, but we decided it was time to do something here at Wheaton, and I'm just so grateful and thankful that all of you came, and know that, at least to me, what this means, you coming, this started in that room with that broken young man, and it led to this. So when I say thank you, I mean that. I can't even tell you. I don't know most of you. You came to hear me speak.